Hello, welcome to this moment. If this is your first hi with me, hi, my name is Elliot, and I love you a lot. It's true. I don't have to know you to know you, to know that I love you a lot. Because you're worth loving. And you're not just anybody. I'm not, just because I'm saying I love you doesn't mean that I just love everybody. I try to, but I don't love everybody a lot. And I love you a lot. And I can love you a lot because you're here. For whatever reason, we're in this moment together. And that's nice. That's on purpose. Because one of the greatest illusions ever impressed upon us is that everything's not connected. And that correlation is not causation. That's bullshit. It's word magic. So that you can, or we can get confused. And then be manipulated. But what does it say? Like, shame on, like, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you, fool me 3 times. Like, shame. Eventually it's just like, I'm paying attention. You can't keep fooling me. And then you can't fool me ever again. Because ultimately, I'm the only one that fools myself. What are we going to talk about? How about I pick a card and we go from there? This reading is timeless, so whether you're watching a bunch of my videos in a row or you're just coming across this one, you're coming across it at the exact right time that you're meant to, and the message is for you at this time. Take what resonates. What doesn't resonate, pay attention to that, because you might just be ignoring something that's hard to see in yourself, or you're just straight up like, that's not my vibe. And those are very different distinctions that are important to make. So make them. Yeah. Ooh. It's the 3 of Cups. Oh, and this was on the bottom of the deck. We aren't going to talk about that today, but I love you. Cups are typically, they can be said to be the emotions. In another way, they can be the expression. So, or the wand can be the idea. The cup, the expression of that idea, or that emotional expression of that idea. And then the swords would be action towards that idea, or like decision, cutting off the pieces that don't make sense. and the pentacles or coins would be the manifestation. So 3, and then 3 is a kind of expressive number as well. Now, I ain't given astrology lessons per se, except that when you read cards, the sooner you realize that they mean what you think they mean, the better of a reader you'll be for yourself and for others. And for me, 3 is really like 1, because 1 is almost like nothing. When there's 1, it's all or nothing. And 2 is I miss you. So why did we do that? And then 3 is the first reason why. So the 3 of Cups is I sunburned my face. I'm scratching it and you're watching that. What up? The 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups is always, like, to me, like, connotated, I don't know, like a good thing. Like, does that look like bad news? Nah, right? Like, that seems like chilling. It's 3 people. 2, like they could be 3 women. The one with the back to us, that could just be a dude with long hair, you know. But they're cheersing and dancing, like, that seems like a lot of fun, right? But it's all about your perspective. Because these 3 women or people could be 3 witches, and it's Devil's Night or Halloween. See, there's pumpkins and shit. That means it's Halloween, and they're not singing and dancing. They're got their goblets of blood, and they're circling their cauldron. You just can't see it. And they're casting evil spells. And it's really a bad thing. Ah, shit. And that's the way of things, and that's the way of emotions. That's the way of beginnings and firsts. They've got such potency, and how you see is what you see. Now, you could go crazy seeing all the things, especially now as your perception is changing and the world is changing, and what we're able to see that's real but was harder to see before, like the astral world, spirits and energy, which is very real. I'll tell you firsthand, I see energy all the time. And I can, and I'm saying that being a person that never really saw energy ever up until a few months ago. Most certainly not before a year ago. And now I can't not see. I see it like, and it's like, it's not like, oh, did you catch that in the corner of the eye? It's like in my face. It's right now. It's all the time. So if you're seeing energy all the time, you're not alone. And what you see is going to very much depend on how you see it. Yes, gives me a good idea to talk what. Okay, so because first of all, aim to have your sight be your own. Whether you're doing a reading, which is really a conversation with yourself and with like with consciousness. You're like you're mirroring, or you're having a reflection by placing these cards, and there's more to it, but have your meaning work for you. And when something means something shitty, see if it can mean something more accurate. And by more accurate, I mean more forgiving. Something that's more productive for your evolution, for your growing understanding. If something means something to you that's like a full stop in a direction that you want to move forward in, then look at it a new way, right? Like this card, depending on what I ask it, and what other cards came out with it, because everything is in relation to everything else, and that's not static. Everything is in relation to everything else at that time. So whatever comes out with this card at the time that I'm at the time, and at the time what I'm thinking at the time, all of that plays into it. And so it could mean, I look at that and the three cards comes out, I'm like, boom, yeah, awesome, celebration. It's all coming up. People are coming together, not really to work, but to get their freak on. You know, get jiggy with it. Do we know what that is? We know what that is, right? Na 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 na. Or, and this is like why I started this saying it kind of the way that I did. Or it could mean third party. Da da da. Wah, wah, third party. Wah, wah, wah. I didn't fucking know what third party is until I started watching tarot readings on when it came to Twin Flames. Third party situation. There's a third party. And it's never a good thing. It's like there's a third party, and they're your best friend. They're the best friend. So they're gonna join in, and like you're all gonna go have fun together. No, it's karma. It's the one that has to go. But it really depends on how you see it. I'm not going to touch on third party too much right now because there's nothing really to touch on it. If someone that you care about is in a situation in which they're in a relationship with someone else, or they are preoccupied with someone else, like their time is just being taken because of obligations to someone else. I'm trying to define third party in every way. It really only matters two things, or whether one thing. That's two things. And the third is the answer. See, 3. Do they want to be, or do they not want to be? And there's no such thing as I don't know in this case. If someone you love is obligated and they want to be with you, then be with them the way that they are. And they can be the way, that way there's all the room for them to be with you in the same way. So in that situation, the third party at least isn't you. And then if you want to go for it, you can drop the whole third party thing altogether and just let it be life and something that you're doing together. And then alternatively, if the person that you love, or you're in love with or want to be with, is with someone and they want to be with that someone and not you, take that in and maybe move on, like now, because it's not serving you pining for someone that doesn't care for you the same way that you care for them. And you are worth having someone that really cares about you the same way that you care about them. I don't believe in codependence, or that there's any kind of obligation for you to nurse their spirit back to the realization that really you're the one that they love. If you haven't talked to them in a long time, and pining for them is in any way getting in the way with what you want to be doing and want to be experiencing in your life, move on. And if you're not thinking about them, then this is a moot point. That's all I'll say about third party situations. But what I'll add and end with, I tell myself I'm going to end it with something, so I kind of like cue myself to move the fuck on. Kind of touches on third parties, and it touches on other parties. It touches on other parties that are not welcome. I want to talk a little bit about psychic attacks, and what I want to focus on is not the attack but the defense. And it goes back to 3 being the first. To me, is really just the first one. Everything before that is pre-manifestation. 3 is the first, is number 1 when it comes to manifestation. So everything is vibration. Light and sound are the same, just different frequencies. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Ken Wheeler, YouTube, amazing videos. Just as one reference, but he's really great and he's funny. In like an asshole kind of way, so I think he's fucking wicked. The way we get attacked psychically is tricked. It's like when you strum a string on a guitar and the other chords or a piano I think is better, and the other chords kind of vibrate or hum just a little bit because there's resonance. Psychic attacks occur. The way that they occur is the strings are separate, so there's no way for one string to get out, move, and like slap another string. But what it can do is vibrate in such a way that it's slapping itself, and then send it to you, and then you start slapping yourself. I know that sounds silly, but that's essentially the way it works. And I'll tell you, it can work super effectively. I've never been more scared in my life. Than during a psychic attack. And I haven't had many. Because I'm pretty stubborn. In that, like, I know what I know. And I've got all the space for what I don't know. But I'll tell you, man, like, when something can hijack your perception, it can hit you in any kind of way. It can hit you in any kind of way. And it feels like it's coming from the outside, because that's the way we experience the world initially, or what's been impressed upon us. You, them, and then me. Like, 1, 2, 3. Separate. Computer, clothes, body, mind inside. Oh, and then there's a heart that's separate too. When really it's all one. It's all one. So when you feel like you're experiencing something in your moment that does not feel right, and it does not feel like you, pretend that it's not. And then you just steal your bravery, because you're super courageous, I happen to know that, and summon up what you love. Summon up what makes you feel brave. Until eventually, and I don't know, I just skipped to this, but I really had to learn what surrendering really meant. Surrender to the love of God. Surrender to the Creator, to the one that is all, the one that loves you and is here for you, and that is never not, beside, with, through, above, and below you. When I was so scared I thought I was going to die, not from fear, from being killed, and was scary, I had spent, I don't even know how long, it felt like a million years, but time just running around, frantic, being like, I love you, God. Jesus is in every cell of me. Like, I'm filled with the light of Christ, running around. God loves me. This is like, I'm protected. Almost like you shall not pass. And it wasn't until I threw my arms out and looked up. I was like, I love you. I love God. I love life. I love love. My whole life has been committed to that. I know this. If I've been doing it wrong the whole time, I know that, and the Creator knows that. So whatever going to happen now is in the highest interest of love. I didn't really have the time to all say that, but that was like, I'm just giving you a synopsis, and I surrendered. I surrendered to the love of God, and the psychic attack became a psychic illusion. Like, it became just so clear that all the pain and suffering I was causing, that was occurring, was I was creating in myself. Everything that was, it was, and in the craziest way, I was turning positive things into the worst things. Like, I was starting to see energy flow in a whole new way, in my body, in and around how it feels. I was so full of energy that it was like, I'd never felt this way. And it wasn't bad, but I turned, because it was weird, and I had all these misperceptions, because like I was being aimed at, for sure. I attributed these blessings as curses. And maybe at first, when I started to rationalize and like walk myself down or away from fear, it started a little bit with like as rationalization of being like, yeah, whatever, man, like, I can't believe it did that. That's really me. It totally twisted that. I'm sorry, I want to give you better examples, but I'm really bad at remembering things like that. My memory doesn't work really good like that. And like, I don't want to give energy to that still, if you know what I mean. Because it was like, like, that is impossible to occur again. Because once you can't go back. That's another fake thing. 1, 2, 3. It's the first one. Then you keep going. They can't knock you back down to lower than that. Anyways, I kind of lost my train of thought. All that to say, everything that happens will leave you higher and stronger than you were before. And I promise there's a way for you to see it that way. Because death is worth it. And what happens to us when we die is the more permanent or longer lasting state of our beingness and existence. And the fact that it's not totally obvious to us, and that we're not taught it, and it's not passed on, and it's not proven to us day after day, moment after moment, is a part of the illusions that have been subjugated to us, subjugated upon us by third party, yo. If the third party is, let's like me, you, or like us, God, and stupid. That's all. That's what I would call anything that wants to not be on the same side as the creator. And I'll tell you, I don't believe shit. I've gone through the gamut of not believing. I believe in what I see, feel, know, experience. I have not the best vision, although it's getting better and weirder. So what I see with more than just my eyes. And I'll tell you, God God is everywhere. It's actually awesome. And what I'm happy to do, and what I find challenging, is I am happy to liberate the love of the Father, love of the Mother Father, love of God, and the truth of the love of God. Like non-sectarian love of the one that is all. Love and the love of all in one. So when you find yourself being psychically attacked, as much as you can, as fast as you can, in all the ways that you can surrender, believe, come back to the one that you are and you're not separate from. They are using your cells, your energy, your vibration, your body, your mind against you. And because they can't touch you, they can only suggest that you experience what you're experiencing, and that it's true, and that it's not you, but you're everything, and everything is you. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for healing me and healing you, and being on this mission together. You're a G. Let that mean whatever you want, but it's gotta start with G. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. I wish us peace, freedom, and not one or the other, but both at the same time. And passion and love. We just want to party just for me. We just want to party. I know you wanna. I love you. Namaste.